that. All right, here we go. Go live now. Look at me. Go to your Facebook. You may have to press go live now as well. If it doesn't work, I'll just tag you and you can share it and we'll be fine.
Live there. Looks like
and we're live on YouTube. Look, we can do hard things. Doesn't that make you feel so good? I'm so proud of you.
Kind of. Yes, I'm getting better every time. Every time.
Consistency is key.
That's right.
And we don't allow each other to get overwhelmed by the process, right? So, yep, do we have to figure out what a stream key is and a URL is? Yes. Can we find that? Also, yes. So I'm proud of you. So hello, everybody.
Thank you.
Welcome to It's Only Because I Love You, the live stream we do every other Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern and 9 a.m. Pacific with me, producer Rachel, but more importantly, with the one and only, the beautiful Stephana Johnson. How are you, lovely?
Wonderful co-host. This would not be happening without Rachel.
Yeah, I forced her to do this. We were in like a private session and she said, listen, it's only because I love you. And then she laid into me in the right way. Sometimes the truth hurts, but sometimes it's necessary. And I was like, you know what? That's a great podcast title. It's only because I love you. And I figured for us, because we're so busy, a live stream is perfect because you ship it. It doesn't even, you don't even have to touch it again if you don't want to. It just lives as it is. So we have to be okay with.
Very useful. I love it. And when you have a team member that you adore, it's so useful. That's why I get all the great clips that I share.
That's the thing. That's what I tell everybody. I tell my clients, 35 to 45-minute live stream or even episode, you can get tons of clips just from that. So I think I want people to work smarter, not harder.
Oh, thank you. Can you say that again?
Let's work smarter, not harder.
Oh, yes, please. Yes, please.
Do we need to take a deep breath today? Notice this week I was not breathing. And part of it's probably because of, asthma, allergies, all those things, but also I noticed I was walking around like I couldn't just take a deep breath. So let me know if we need to start this with a breathing exercise from you.
It's always necessary for us to be breathing and to be mindful and to connect with our breath. And yes, when we are on that, I don't like to call it the rat race, assembly line, all of that, but that's just naturally, your intention is to just go get things done. So your body kind of, you disconnect a little bit and then we're off and running. So that is for sure something we can do. But I think if you can just practice in every moment, you're listening. How about breathing, coming out of the head, coming out of the thinking, and just come into the heart space and breathe into the belly and breathe. I was teaching a free class. I'm doing a series for the spring. I usually do it every spring, and it's Clean It Up Challenge. And I'm doing it every Monday for the next 4 weeks. So it's what we put in our body. We did that. And by the way, I had kiwis, I had some nettle tea, and a few other things in terms of the allergy season. So those are things. Kiwis, my number one food for allergy asthma. Just
I love kiwis, and I didn't know they had healing properties for allergy and asthma. So I will literally order kiwis today.
Yes, there's a fabulous study on kiwis that specifically for children as well. They did it because they did it for children in the asthma was so bad, right? And they were giving them 2, then 3, then 4, and the results were exponential. So it's not, so I've been eating during this time, I'll try to get 4 or 5 a day. And it helps so much. And then I do a lot of celery juicing, and I'll put cilantro essential oil on the bottoms of my feet. We live right next to a huge, everything's blooming, everything around here right now. Fabulous, wonderful. And if you're still clogged from the winter, we're going to get a little backed up. So this is where having some of those little tools and simple, your food is the best medicine. So I love that. Of course, taking the breaths. And what else was I going to say? Oh, so going back to the class, we're doing in the body. That was this Monday. On the body. So we're going to make our own skincare. You want to be really mindful of what you're putting skincare wise on. So I've got a great recipe. Happy to share that. And I mean, you can eat this. The same thing, I'm going to make tooth powder for everyone to take home. And then we're going to do in our home cleaning products, all of that for spring. Please, no more dryer sheets, even with mosquitoes. I know people will get dryer sheets and put them in their pockets because of mosquitoes. If you're getting bitten by mosquitoes and they're after you, usually it's because you're low in B vitamins, and you know, be mindful of that. Then the fourth class that we're going to do is on what we put in our mind. And I think that has more to do with our breathing, because if our thoughts are chaotic and upset, it's real easy for our breath to stop, right? Because our minds are so busy. And I say rhetorically speaking, because my mind has been so busy this week. And then all of a sudden I'll stop and it's like my brain is way over here and my body will just go, "Argh!" And then I'll, it's like, whoa, hello. And they try to sync back up and they're not having it. My body's just like, sorry, girl, you left me behind. I'm like, mm-mm.
That's exactly how it felt. Exactly. Like I was like, I have to come back into my body. I have to come back into my body. I love that. Okay. So we're going to do kiwis. We're going to do nettle tea. We're going to do cilantro oil. The class that you're doing, is this only in person? So like we can't join you virtually to do any of this?
So you could potentially, because I could stream it, but I'm doing it at the local grocery store, Natural Grocers. I'm an event.
Okay.
I just do free classes there because they let me go and shop in the store for all my supplies. And then I get to give it to everyone. I mean, literally, last year, everyone went home with their own tooth powder, their own creams. I almost want to go around the country and just do it. Just go around the world and look at these classes, and everybody's going to go home with these.
Ready to go. Let me know. When I have the budget, we'll fly you into Michigan and we'll do an in-person. I feel like that's amazing. I think that's incredible. So the amount of knowledge that you have in so many different niches, like, just fascinates me. That's why I love you so much, because you have this beautiful living life, well-rounded knowledge of so many different things. And so many people just don't even know that the things that they're using every day could be hurting them. Like, literally could be killing you. You just don't know it.
Exactly. Well, I think the same thing with you, because you have such a vast understanding as a TV producer and then radio, and then all of this knowledge that you have is incredible. I think we underestimate what each of us has in terms of knowledge. And then if we make a decision to start sharing our knowledge and not having it be connected to, well, I have to monetize it, or I have to this, or I have to that. You just share from your heart. I think it changes a lot. And I think we would have a world where there's more collaboration and creation and connection rather than this competition constantly. I'd love to see more of that.
I feel like 2025, a lot of us are stepping into collaboration over competition. I really do truly feel that with a lot of the people I'm speaking with that are still in the same like niches that I'm in, but are so happy to promote each other. It's been such a beautiful experience. So I love that for us in 2025. Absolutely collaborate. But you just said something that brought me back, because you don't know how much you know until you start saying it out loud. And so you start teaching other people until you see something and it's like, well, why aren't they doing this? It's like, because they don't know. Right.
That's right. So you need to share your knowledge.
So the act of sharing your knowledge, how did you start that process? Was it through the podcast? Was it writing the book? Because some of us, it's hard for us to find our voice at first. It took me 2 years to just be able to talk to a camera. I know that sounds crazy, but it did. But as soon as I started to get into that consistency of like, oh, not only do I have a voice, I actually have something to say. Oh, wait, I can help people. I actually do know a lot. Talk to me about the process of how you started actually sharing knowledge and information, and how it kind of got easier and easier to show up for yourself and your community and give value.
Well, first of all, I don't think there was ever a starting point. I think that from the time I could speak, I would share, hey, this isn't working. Let's try this. Let's do this. And it wasn't about sharing. It was just being, I'm a challenger by nature. If you know the Enneagrams, I'm an Enneagram 8. And I am a challenger, meaning I will challenge, and more than anyone, I will challenge myself. I want to learn. That is one of my strengths. I am constantly learning, constantly wanting to understand and improve. And I have enormous hope. And though that combination, I'm always looking and seeking for a better way or answers. I mean, to me, that's just what nature is. There's the fundamental essence of who we are. And then that starts to blossom. And then we see, oh, and we can see how it can evolve. I mean, for goodness sakes, when I was, um, I don't know, 7 or 8, I would take the remnants of carpet when my parents were recarpeting, I would take the remnants of the carpet and make little shoes. And I would make my clothes, and they were horrendous. I mean, like ridiculous. They lasted for maybe 20 seconds, a little cool crisscross flip-flops that I used with all the threads. And then I would make a pair of pants, but I forgot to put the crotch in because I didn't know how. But how do you learn? You find out, you discover, right? And then and what's sad is my mom didn't share her knowledge, and she was an amazing seamstress. She would make all of our clothes when we were kids, little kids. And then when she just got too busy as a business owner and a mom and all of this, so she didn't teach me how to sew. So I never learned I had to figure out how to do the crotches and all of this. And I wasn't great at reading directions. Like to this day, I don't read directions. Give me a cookbook, forget it. I'm just in my kitchen, I'll create anything. And my son says, oh, that was amazing, Mom. And then I'll make the same thing. Can you make that again? I'll make the same thing again, but it's not the same. So there's people who have their own strengths. Really I've said this before, you've got to know yourself, right? I know I'm not going to sit and read a 30, even a 2-page, maybe I would. No, I wouldn't. Not even a 50-page manual. My son will sit and read word for word every word of the manual for his car, for his this, for his this. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. I'm so glad you have that skill, my son. I don't have that. And the same in the kitchen, right? It's like, because I love to create, and I will share. And then folks will ask and say, how many cups? How many teaspoons? Like, what's the exact size? What's the exact recipe? And they want to follow the recipe. I don't have that skill, mindset, any of that. And I remember I started writing a book called Medicine Bowl. And it's because I would create bowls of food. I was in this kind of raw, hippie, cool bowl. The only thing I had was a bowl and my chopsticks. And so everything I ate was in my bowl. And I would make all this kind of medicine food deliciousness, but I didn't have any recipes. I would just like, and this and this and this, and not this amounts, and some of this and some of this and some of this, and go out and forage in this and this and this. And every single time I would share it, people would say, how many cups, how many this, how many that, what's the this, what's that, and that. And so I stopped. So what I found for myself, and again, now this comes full circle to today, is that I can share. I can just speak and share. If you have a question for me, I'll come up with, I mean, I've been around 55 years, so there's a lot of information I can share. Plus I have intuitive gifts, as you do. Mine are just more, I hone them every day, so they're more readily available for me. And you can too have them readily available for you. So you just hone them, right? And then you just share. And that's all that it is. Whether you're sharing video, because of my background in acting, it's kind of fun to do this. But you can do it with the microphone. You can do it literally every single person, including 2-month-olds, have smartphones now, which is ludicrous and blasphemy. That shouldn't be the case. So mamas, don't do that. Take care of that problem. But you could be sharing your video of what you like, hey, this is, I just realized that when I put this ginger root on this swollen joint, that helps it so much. Who knew? Ginger root, that's amazing. Pure ginger root. You don't need to go buy capsules or this. Ginger root, simple, affordable, easy. Wow. Those kinds of things. And then just rinse and repeat. I mean, that's what I did. So I'm going to take a breath and let you
take a
go.
breath. First of all, I love the medicine bowl concept. That is a great like book and series. When I cook, I truly understand what measure with your heart means now. Because when you're in alignment, I don't know if I'm hearing voices of like dead chefs. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I'm compelled to be like, yes, chef, whoever's telling me what to do. But truly, it's a little bit of this. Like literally, I just go through that process. I'll see a recipe, sort of feel like, all right, I kind of want to make this, but I don't want to follow the recipe. I just want to follow my heart. And I think maybe it's because I've cooked for so long, who knows? But I don't necessarily measure per what I'm told. I really do measure by looking, tasting, touching, and like looking at what it looks like. And so I completely understand that. I think people so much want to be by like the rules of certain things, but then you could be missing out on the most beautiful dish because if you measured with your heart with the ingredients Stephana gave you and took aligned action and aligned choices, it could be even better than anything Stephana ever made.
And exactly. And it's unique to you and I really believe this. Your body knows.
Your body
and your mind knows as well. You need them in harmony. Head, heart, and body, so that they're in harmony. And you take those actions and it will change, I believe, change your life. So you live in that space.
Yeah. And oh God, the idea of the medicine bowl where all you have is the bowl and you do all these beautiful things in it. Like I can literally visualize the whole thing.
I had the whole cookbook and
so
all
cool.
Of these. Yes, I know. And then when you do cookbooks, they want all the macros and the micros and all the this and it's like, no, that's not fun anymore.
Right. No, thank you. Turn my ADHD off completely. And if you can afford to have somebody do it for you, where you're just like, here's all the things, you figure out the measurements, awesome. But like, we don't all live in that world and that's okay.
Right.
So as you share information, as you share value, and you've now disseminated it into shorter segments, right? Or doing those live in-person events that are just to teach people, where do you sort of see the flow of information going? I know a lot of people are obsessed with social media, then we're obsessed with getting people into our own communities, and we want to use YouTube, and we want to be on Spotify, and da, 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 da. Do you find it's just easier to focus on one thing, or should we keep disseminating on all the things and then sort of find where our people mostly connect with us? Because that's where I'm at now. I'm throwing spaghetti at all the walls in a very specific way, right? Like I know what platform I'm sending a message to and why. But I feel like that was part of my stress is like I'm trying to be everywhere and everything to everyone all at once when it's like, I just want to niche it down and just talk to people.
Yeah. It's a great question. And I'm going to answer it in my roundabout ways that I do. So I feel like I've taken countless marketing coaching courses and all kinds of, strategies of this. And what I have found is that when I get stuck in someone else's agenda or do this, or you're supposed to do this, it stifles me. So I have to go back to what's my true purpose? My true purpose has never been in alignment with making scads of money. That's not, and I understand that that's important, no question. And that's why I hired the coaches so that I could get the money piece, so that there would be compensation for what I give out. But I'm not here on this planet to have compensation. So I had to get clear on that for myself. The truth for me is this. If the one person who needs to hear what I can share today is on TikTok, then I'm happy that I put it on TikTok and it takes me 30 seconds to do that. If they're on whatever app, whatever this, whatever that, I mean, the ones that are accessible and I can get to, I'm going to share it because it doesn't cost me that much more in energy or time or financial resources, etc. So I will put it everywhere and be omnipresent, as they say, right? The thing that I don't do is I don't hold on to the outcome or the result anymore. And I think that that's so key for you to understand whatever you're trying to put forth. If you are trying to get, because it's disheartening, and even I have to look at that. And if I don't see that anyone's engaged, and there'll be a moment, and then I will just check in with myself and say, well, Stephana, that's not your purpose. You put it out there. And that's what you can do. And can I get better at marketing so that more people see that? For sure. Because there's a whole game to that. There's a whole strategy to that. And that's awesome. And there are amazing, competent people at that. And I've bought the courses and I've got the t-shirts, but my directions, it goes back to reading directions. I go rogue. I'm sorry. I just go rogue. So, but ultimately, at the end of the day, I have to be fulfilled with myself. And it's one of the reasons I go and teach the free classes, or I'll go and, this is a tough one because when I first moved to New York City, I was 16 and I would see homeless people. And there was one time where, and I was very naive. So there was a homeless woman with her kids and she was asking for money. And I literally went to my ATM and took out all my money for the ATM and gave it to her, standing there. And I did that a couple of times before I realized there were scammers. And after that, I would just go in and buy them groceries. I would just go buy them food. And when they didn't want that, then I was okay, well, that's fine. But I will do that anytime I see a family and they're there with their phones and the kids are all playing on the phones and they've got the awesome Bob stroller. I mean, I don't know, maybe someone gave it to them. I will ask, do you need food? Do you need work? You can come and help me and I can support you and I will give you exchange for your time and I will buy your groceries. No, 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 right? No, they don't want that. And that is really heartbreaking. However, this winter, there were people where I went out and gave our sleeping bags and coats. And and just a couple of weeks ago, very, very cold, I saw the homeless man with his dog and he was wearing the coat. And, I'm doing it anonymously. It's not like, oh, hey, hooray. It's like, okay, this is what I'm doing because if I were in that place, I would want someone to help me if I needed that. And so what I realize is there is a level that we can each contribute to others' lives, whether that's on the level of in person, whether that's on the level of this, where I'm talking to the green dot, but I'm talking to my beautiful, wonderful, loving, gorgeous friend that I adore. And I get to see you for sure every 2 weeks because we do this and my heart is full. And then it shares to the world. I mean, wonderful. I'm just going to switch over here. I would love for people to ask questions. I am very skilled at the Akashic records and I will do readings here. I will give you guidance here free, outside of this, because I'm the primary breadwinner for my family. I do charge. There's a compensation. There is an exchange from a person to another person for my skills, as should be for your skills, right? So this whole long way around of saying that this is part of my heart to speak. And when I tie it to the engagement, it disappoints me. I feel frustrated. I feel inadequate. And those are not feelings that are real. They're made up. They're made up from a fake construct that we have agreed to with regards to algorithms and the presence of social media. And we throw money at these celebrities and this and this and this, and they mean nothing. Do they buy your lunch? No, you're buying their lunch for a million years. Stop it. Stop it. Buy your own lunch, sweetie. Right? I say this from my heart because I love you. Buy your own lunch and stop buying theirs. You don't need any more crap. I mean, this is what why I'm going through all my books right now. And this is my second phase of going through the KonMari method, right? Marie Kondo, I adore her. and I got through my clothes. And so I now have this beautiful 40-piece capsule wardrobe that I love. This isn't a great color for me, but it's cashmere and I love it. I love it. And if I tell you, I picked it up at a little garage sale. It was just on the corner when I was picking up my son and he was running late. And I saw this little garage sale and I got this cashmere sweater because it has a precious little hole in it because of, and I got it for like $2, $3. And I love it. So it's not about, oh, I have to go and buy the $7,000 handbag to be fulfilled. I'm done with that. I've worked with and dated and been around billionaires who had to snort coke to feel good about themselves. That breaks my heart. And I didn't even know it at the time. It was like cocaine. I thought it was baking soda. I was like, oh, I think you left some baking soda because did you brush your teeth? You got some baking soda right here. That's how naive I was.
You are too funny. So essentially, I love the idea of detaching yourself from the outcome. I've talked about that before in life as a parent, detaching yourself from the outcome of certain things with your kids. But I never put that in perspective with posting and engagement. And to me, I feel like as long as I keep showing up, and like you said, it might just be one person. And that's what I have a whole book here about, like, why tell your story. It's because of the one person you may help, the one person that may see it. Now, if you want to put ads and give Meta more billions of dollars, you can absolutely do that. However, if you have the foresight and the wherewithal, and maybe even a third-party program where you can schedule all your posts across all of the platforms, it might be a little bit easier for you. But I love the idea of you're not posting to get the follows, to get the engagement, to get the likes, to get the hearts. You're posting because you have something of value to share. And that in and of itself sometimes has to be good enough. And I love that so much.
Yeah. That's it right there.
What is the Marie Kondo? Explain to people what it is, where you essentially thank the item for being in your life and giving to you before you say goodbye to it.
Yes. The strategy is to take everything of that category that you own and put it in one pile so you can see every stitch. And when I did that for my clothes, I thought, oh, I don't have that many clothes. Well, once I took every single thing, everything, and put it in the pile, I was like, what? And then you go through it, it's a very different experience. Well, I've done that with my books. And so all my books that were on this shelf, and I had another set of books, and they're all here on the floor right now. And I've been sitting with them, loving on them. And I homeschooled my boys. And so I have countless books of the classics and just, I mean, Black Beauty. Oh, how can I get rid of that, right? Well, it's time for someone else to have it. It's time for another family to enjoy that. And so that's where I'm at, and loving on that, the Black Beauty. Oh my goodness. And so you see, I can just look at this and see, oh, so many. I could dip down and show you the books, but that's the process, is you have everything where you can see it and be with it, like in piles. She does piles. I didn't want to damage my books in piles, so I have them lined up where I can see them and see the titles, and then I just go through them. And yes, it is acknowledging them and thanking them. Her concept of, I do believe this, that everything's energy, but as everything is thought, just as energy is. And she says there's energy in that. So you thank them. And she talks about, does it spark joy? Does it bring joy? Well, definitely Black Beauty sparked joy clearly in that moment. And I am ready. And what sparks even more joy is knowing someone else will get an opportunity to read this. And so that's where I'm at in this process. I had this vision for a long time of building a retreat center and then having a library and keeping that library so that it was accessible for everyone who came on the retreat, that they would always have an amazing collection of books to be able to sit down and have a cup of tea and read. And while that vision is still there at some point, I think that there's maybe that's not in my future. And so it's okay for me to let go of all of these books. And so that's the process I'm in right now. There are more, there's other things you do, but I'm at the book stage, and we'll see. I will get through this. I got through the close last year, so I'm going to get through the books this year.
You can do it. Okay. So for everybody it's spring, right? We're approaching spring, so a lot of people will be spring cleaning. I'm definitely one of those people that have held on to too many things for far too long. I've always lived in like, maybe, possibly, this could happen. When we have an emotion towards an object, do we need to sort of look at that why? Right? Like why are you having trouble saying goodbye to it and thanking it? Why do I feel like I have to have shelves and shelves filled with things that I will probably never go back to and look? Am I surrounding myself with things to separate myself from the world around me? Or have I put too much emphasis on things, having things? So we're starting this. My professional organizer is coming to help me because I'm a baby. I can't do it alone. I have to have somebody hold my hand, because literally the whole time I'll be like, nope, not doing it. We're done.
You just need a guide.
Right. But at least I know, right? I'm aware.
Yeah, good.
It is fun. Plus she also takes everything with her, because otherwise it would just stay by the front door, and I'll be like, I'll totally donate that somewhere at some point in time. And I never do. So she takes it all, takes the garbage out, takes the giveaway, like whatever else, she takes it out. And I love that, because that energy of it all moving out is great. But I have this hard time of separating myself from the thing, and for multiple reasons, either assuming I'm going to use it again, maybe it'll come in handy, or no, I just can't. I'm just not ready to get rid of it. So for all of us getting into that like spring cleaning mindset, where we have to really start letting go of things, right? Especially if it's that thing that I've brought from house to house, apartment to apartment, where it's like, are we really going to use it? What advice do you sort of have for us to just think it and let go?
Well, first, I just want to acknowledge you for the self-reflection, because that's key, right? Just being able to even say those words and reflect and recognize, and I even honor that part of you that is feeling that way, because that's the truth, right? So if that's the truth, you honor that and you say, wow, and I would like something a little different. So that part of me that doesn't feel safe to let this go, or that part of me that's feeling maybe scarcity, maybe that, oh no, if I don't have this, something might happen. What can you do to this is where the baby comes in. This is where the little inner child comes in. Then you can say to that inner child, like we would with our 2-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, right? You're not going to be logical with them, because they're not logical, they're emotional. And so you honor them and say, would it be okay if we put this over here? And if we do happen to need this purple elephant whoopee, it's there for you if you need it, or something better. Would that be okay? And I think that then gives permission for that I've got to have it to relax a little bit, and then you can have the conversation, and it's like, yeah, I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. And that's the process. It's not just immediately cut everything out. I've done it numerous times. In fact, even just thinking about it brings grief to me. But I did it. I did this massive purge out of vengeance, internal vengeance, and burned all of my modeling pictures and thousands and thousands and thousands of my photographs and slides and everything. And that was when I was going through massive trauma cleanup. This is right after my first son was born, where I had not handled my childhood sexual abuse and the rapes, and I didn't confront it, and there was so much internalized, turned inward of self-hatred, that those were the things I would do. Like, those types of things of cutting, like I would literally cut all my hair off because there was a part of me that now that I know better, right? That part of me hated the inside of me hated that part and wanted so much to stop that. And now that I think we should know that we're more than just our thoughts, right? So we have to understand. So we don't have to take in any thought. We can let a thought come in and we can either decide to reject or accept it. And if we get a little bit more wise, we can let that thought come in and look at it and go, nope, not mine. Reject. It's like, no, thank you. And we can even transmute it so that it's not hanging on to anything or even stuck in any of our energy anywhere, in our possessions as well, books, whatever. We're not putting that energy into an object, objectifying it, all of this, right? And we can take a breath and we can decide what we do want. And I think that that's the first key, is that you have to have clarity on who you are now. Who are you right now? Would you buy that book, that piano, that frame, that rain stick today in this moment with who you are now? Yes or no? And that's a lot easier to answer for me, because if you get fully present, there's a lot of different answers that will come up when you're fully present. Now, when all these thoughts are coming in that you're not responding to or addressing the way they need to be addressed, which would be reject or accept, right? And a lot more need to be rejected nowadays. Then you're going to get an accumulation of stuff. And I think we're seeing that as a physical manifestation in our worlds. So if we can remember that and step back and go, okay, where am I right now? Right here, I feel my cashmere sweater. Thank you. I see my beautiful friend. I see the picture of my beautiful painting behind me. Here I am. Okay, now I can decide, do I want to let go of that rain stick or that card game that brings back so many memories, or these glasses that really don't work anymore, but sometimes I need them just in case? It's easier, right? Good. We don't suppress yawns. We yawn because we need the oxygen, right?
So I think the hardest time frame was getting rid of, and I hate using those words, getting rid of, donating my children's baby clothes. And I'm sure there's a lot of people going through that right now. It was an ending, knowing I was not going to have any more babies. That was a choice. And then, I don't know, just not having that reminder of them, like, and how fast they grow. And so I did that. I put it in a container and I set it aside. And it wasn't like, we have to take it away now. I allowed myself to have those emotions. I allowed myself to thank the clothes and separate myself from them. I allowed to give thanks and say, how beautiful is it that I have 2 children that are growing and healthy and lovely. And then when I was ready, we gave the clothes away. And so I think what you're basically saying is, like, don't not do the thing. Don't avoid the emotion. Don't avoid the whatever it is that's coming up that you're feeling about the items that you are cleaning out, clearing out, throwing away, giving away, especially for spring cleaning, right? Like, we have so much pent up energy from winter. Like, we really do need to, like, clear out. Allow yourself to feel the emotion. Why am I having this emotion? Where is this coming from?
You don't need to ask why, because why is not usually very useful. Be mindful of that. So, why am I having this emotion? It's like, oh, hello, there's an emotion. Okay. Let me feel it, right? It doesn't mean it's you. It's just a feeling. If you have to go into why is this, why is that, oftentimes we get stuck in this dwindling spiral on that. It's like having to have a diagnosis, right? It makes it feel like, okay, I have a diagnostic. Now I know what to do, what the next step is. I think it's okay to not always have the exact diagnosis. It just can be, especially in today's, I mean, in today's world, there is so much nonsense. There's not going to be a why oftentimes. And you may not even know or understand what the why is. You just know that it's no longer your season, right? It's not useful to have baby clothes anymore. That's yes, emotions like, well, most likely, I liken it to this with our periods. Women, when they have their monthly cycle and they would get their periods, the veil was off so that they would express more intensely their emotions, but they were then taught to suppress them. No. So now you suppress them and now you've got decades of suppression. And guess what happens in the body? Disease. So if we can be and teach our children this, that the emotions that come up are emotions. We get to choose whether we act on them or what we do with them. They're just emotions. They're just feelings, right? If we label them and assign them something, then that's when we get into trouble. So I don't know that we need to ask the why all the time. Just like, oh, well, it's time. My babies are grown and I'm not going to have any babies. Maybe I want to keep them for my grandbabies. Okay, I get that. That might be useful. But is it? Maybe not. Just decide, is it useful? And then move forward from there, I think. I think I would just hesitate on asking the why because that can get into a tangle. Now, with a therapist, and even as a therapist, I'm not going to ask why. Never. I would never ask that question, right? Because then that gets into a list. Well, because of this. And then the mind's going off. Ba, 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 ba. It's like that pinball machine thing, lighting everything up. Don't go light everything up. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's unnecessary. And it's a ineffective use of your energy.
Okay. So if we're spring cleaning, observe the emotion, right? Be in the moment and then let it go and move to the next item. Because otherwise,
if you're clear with what your intention is,
yeah.
What's your intention? Well, I want to feel amazing in my space. I want to feel free and a lot of extra and it could also be that you want to share with others that maybe don't have the wherewithal to buy books or to buy certain clothes, and then you can share them with others.
Everything I've ever joined, I did a couple of different communities around like energy and witchy stuff. And the first thing for every single thing was clear out your space. Clear out your space. Clear it out. Clear it out. Because things have energy. And so as we're saying goodbye to winter, we're welcoming spring. When is the spring equinox? Do you know off the top of your head? Like, when is that? Because that to me is the beginning of the new year. I don't count January 1st, the beginning of the new year. I count that like when spring happens, that date, that always just feels more in alignment to me as like, okay, now the new year's starting. So give yourself grace. Spring cleaning, it's for some of you, it's easy. My sister is not attached to anything. My mother hates it. My mother's like, wait, where's that thing I got you? She's like, I gave it away. I'm the opposite. I'm attached to everything. Or not necessarily attached per se, but I feel like, well, one day I'll need that. And I never do. So give yourself the grace, feel the emotion, but just let it go and move to the next thing, right? Thank the item in the Marie Kondo way. Thank you so much. Thank you for sparking joy. And you're going to give joy to somebody else now too. Clearing out the space, because everything is energy. Why is it always so important as like the step one thing? Because I got caught up in step one for a very long time of clear out the space. And I'd be like, oh, well, forget the rest of this community and course or whatever it is that I'm doing, because I'm never going to be able to clear out my whole space. Limiting belief, I know. Yeah. But why do a lot of people programs start with that?
You answered it as you were going through, because there's no room, right? It's just they're limiting beliefs. They are limiting you from expanding into the next best version of you. And when we fight that, that's when we get the pain. That's when we are suffering. We need to practice the letting go. And it is a practice that needs to be cultivated as a wonderful skill of letting go. I would practice every day, just letting go of something, right?
I never thought about doing it every day, of just
Yeah.
picking an item that you've passed by a million times. It has no purpose anymore. You don't have to have these huge cleaning sessions. You can just let an item go a day. I don't know why that's never crossed my mind to just say, well, thank you, and let it go. So as we're leaving winter, we're coming into spring. I know you're doing all these wonderful, amazing things. Is there something that's coming to you that you want to tell all of us, share all of us? Is there something that we should be focusing on? And something that we should be doing to sort of help us tiptoe into this next phase and welcome spring?
So I would go back to the 4, what you're putting in your body, what you're putting on your body, right? A lot of the synthetic fabrics, we know we have such a significant issue of plastics now. All of your nylon, all of your polyester are all plastics. I mean, there's that. So I would start being very mindful of that. Do your best to wear natural fibers on your body and what you're putting on your body with regards to makeup and skincare, and start supporting what you want to support in terms of, especially with your money, your hard-earned money at this point, folks. There's a lot that we have contributed to by what we spend our dollar on. And I think that that's something I want to communicate more, that we don't need to go and buy the next new thing or the next makeup thing. I'm going to show you how to do those things. In fact, I'll give a link to get my entire PDF guide on this that I've been using for the last couple of years, where we're making all of the simple skin cares, and it's literally nourishing to your body. And it's what I use. So, but what else was I going to say? Okay, so the third is that what we put in. Rachel, I'm so sorry. You asked me something, and I try to be so present to this. What do we need to know in this moment? And my mind went to a couple different things. The first is equinox. You asked about this. So the spring has happened, 21 through the 23rd, 21st to the 23rd day. That transition has happened. It is the new year. It is blossoming now. You see the little bunnies out. And this is the place where we're now going to start seeing what all these blossoms, what were the seeds that were planted. And this is the time where you need to go and maybe pull out some of those plants that are sprouting up that look like weeds, and maybe they are weeds. Or maybe, as Earl Nightingale says in The Strangest Secret, if you plant hemlock or you plant corn, you're going to get the fruits of that. I believe that we as a species have planted a lot of hemlock. And I believe that it is going to be each one of us individually going in and pulling out at the roots, which requires inside of ourselves. And we know this when we go and garden, how painful that process might be, especially when they're really deeply rooted, and how difficult and challenging. And we're going to have to stay with it. We're going to have to stay with it as we dig out those deep infested. I don't mind hemlock. I think it's useful for some things. However, so for me to even use hemlock in the scheme of what we've seen, and those that know the dark occults and know that there is a darkness that has hidden the natural laws that we are all part of. That first is mentalism. Everything's mental. Everything happens in the mind. Your mind must be the most important thing you protect. every thought, every image you place on your mind, you must protect. That is the most important thing you can do right now. And go in and clear out all the clutter in that mind. And then do not let it back in. That goes back to why I'm doing this. And if you have something to say about this, and if you have something to say to inspire another, to give them hope, then do that. Get on your phone and do that and let people know. Record a live, record whatever, just walking, showing the trees and show them. Let them know. Because people need to be reminded, because there's a robotism thing going on right now where people are on their phones scrolling. So maybe somehow it'll get and reach them. I don't know. But I'm not going to give up. And so we have to do the inner work. And I will say, protect your mind. That's the most important thing. And understand that everything you see in your world is what you've created. It's a hard one to take responsibility for, because a lot of us are doing it on default, because we don't even know what we've allowed in our minds or in our children's minds. How many ridiculous, nonsensical movies and I mean, my goodness, Teletubbies and all this nonsense we've allowed into our precious babies' lives in their first precious years. We have planted all of that. We have allowed that to be planted as seeds, and now we are blossoming. You're going to see what's blossoming in your precious children who become adults. And they've been raised on what? All those seeds. Rachel, you know, from the whole television industry, you said it on our last show at the end. You said, I know it's all curated. I was like, okay, that's the most important thing that you can be speaking. You say that. That's what I want our audience to know. It's only because I love you. You need to know that every piece of television and radio is carefully curated for you to control your mind, which is the most important thing that you need to be controlling, your thoughts. And so that's why I will get up and look silly and do whatever I can do and speak on these lives and go and do this, because I see the blossoms of something better for our world, where there is truth and freedom and love and kindness, and not this insanity that is perpetuated. And there is no black or white or red or blue or left or right that's going to save us. We have to do it. We have to do it. And this is the time to do this. Let's start now. Because make no mistake, they're doing it. They're planting the seeds, and have been for generations, of planting the seeds that we're seeing the fruits of. No more, no more. We each have to stand up and take personal responsibility, and it starts in our minds. Thanks for listening, Rachel.
That was amazing. That was so good. I feel like I need to give you a round of applause.
Oh, really?
Like, get that energy, like, can move the energy around. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for getting real, and thank you for getting deep. I think that, like, let's clear out our spaces. Let's clear out our minds. Be very careful what you're watching, what you're reading, what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Just protect your mind.
Protect your body too. Again, it's why I'm wearing cashmere. Go through your closet and get rid of any. If you just think about when you wear, a friend of mine, I love her. She gave me all of her awesome nylon pants. And because, you know, yeah, whatever. Anyway, she gave me these pants and I wore them. I don't have anything nylon or polyester in my closet. And I wore them and they're so cute. But I felt awful in them. I literally felt my energy. And I thought, oh my gosh, if this is how I feel in that switch, think about everyone out there who's wearing these polyester, disgusting nylon pants. Get them off. Go. I mean, come on. I got cashmere at a freaking garage sale. You can do it. You don't have to have a ton of money. Okay? You can figure this out, people. We can figure this out together. If you need help, I'm here to help. I am here to lead something better, starting with my own mind, my own life. And I will tell this to you because I love you. I freaking love you. I do. I do. It's not only because I love you. It's only because also I love myself enough now to show up. And if I could say one thing that this little girl could have heard when she was 17, 18, 19, instead of all of the lies she was told and kept believing and investing in to the tune of exorbitant amounts of money and lost her dreams. I scream bullshit on all of that and say, you have the right to take back your power, your energy, and it is your body, your mind, your heart, what you care about. And this is what is vital right now. This is what is vital. It's going to look different for everybody, but the truth is, you know what is right. And we see what the blossoms are now. Deadhead, get rid of the ones that are the nonsense.
Okay, so if people want to know more about you, I will link your website, stephanajohnson.com. I'll link the book again because I do think the book is good. Do you have any other resources that you want me to link? Just let me know and I'll link them. But you guys can reach out to her directly. She's great with DM. She's great with her email. Everything is on her website.
Perfect. And I'll send the clean it up PDF.
Yes. Can I link it? Can I link that probably?
The PDF?
Or yes. Yeah. Or is it through? Okay.
It's kind of a big file. I guess I don't know how to make it smaller. It's like a 50. So when I send it, Google it's not happy.
So you can't, can you save it in your Google Drive and then send me that link, or do you not know how to do that? And okay.
Google doesn't like it. I've used up my capacity apparently. So I need to make it smaller. I'll figure it out. Sorry, this is all the back.
Don't worry about it right now.
I will get it. Fine. It's a great little PDF, and I'll share that happily, very happily. And
perfect.
Folks, I don't know how long Rachel's going to do this. Rachel may get too busy, and she's like, "Sweetheart, I can't do this anymore. We can have our 5-minute coffee chats by the fireside." So if you want help, I would love to read someone's Akashic records or do something fun. Why not?
Yeah, if you guys are willing, let us know. If you do, and we don't even, it would be great because you could join us. I'll send you the super secret link, or you can just give us your information and she can read you. So send that to us, DM us. It's super, super easy to get a hold of both of us. So thank you so much, as always, for being honest and going there. So many people are just so scared to go there. And I love that you're not, that you're willing to give, because again, if somebody hears what you if somebody can hear what you say and make that connection and at least start to make that change, that's huge.
Yes.
Deep breaths. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Have an amazing week.
Stay right there. Let's see what happens. It's loading you, but you're almost unloading. Oh, God. Do we ever find out if it just stops itself? Hold on. Or do I have to press stop even though it's behind?
On the Facebook or on Riverside?
On Facebook, because I can tell it's behind. Hold on. And YouTube is behind. So where does it stop? If I ended the stream now,